All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Thank y'all so much for coming over. Now, look, before I get started, just know if I put myself over this video bigger, like if you just see me, it's because I can't show what's being shown to me. All right. Now, I think it was like, I forgot exactly the time that I found out about this. Again, I'm gonna say this. I don't know if a lot of these things have been happening for the past whatever years, and it just hasn't been reported like it's being reported now. But look, man, another plane incident. This is beyond crazy. Like, I don't even know. I'm more shocked if there isn't one now. Rest in peace to the people who lost their lives. This is the one that happened in Arizona. I don't know too much about it, but we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us for 12 News at 4. I'm Tram Mai.
I'm Rachel Cole. Troy is on assignment this afternoon. Meantime, 2 people killed after a midair collision at the Marana Regional Airport. Amazingly, 2 people involved lived.
12 News journalist William Pitts is live in Marana with more on what happened. William?
Yeah, I want to show you one of the planes that did manage to make it to the ground. If I step out of the way.
Sorry if the audio's low. It's not me. It's this video. Again, amazing that people lived, but again, what is that trauma going to be like? I feel like if you survive a plane crash, to me that's like, the way I'm taking it is like that's a warning. Don't you ever get back on one again. That's how I feel, me personally.
Off in the distance here, you can see there we have one plane that is surrounded by police tape, and we think that is the plane that made it to the ground. The other one, unfortunately, was not that lucky. Marana police say this was a midair collision, but somehow the people in one of those planes managed to walk away from it. Now, check out some of this video that we got from a viewer who was nearby when it happened. He was a good mile or so away and saw that big, thick, black plume of smoke over by the airport. He said he never even heard anything, didn't know the 2 planes had collided. The FAA tells us this was a Cessna and a Lance Air, basically 2 small private single-engine planes. There was a mid-air collision at the airport, but we don't know how high the planes were when they hit. One of those planes crashed and burst into flames, but both people on that plane were killed. The other, though, managed to get to the ground safely.
Man.
Yeah, it's amazing that they were able to walk away from it, and we're glad that they're okay. Yeah, it's an unfortunate event.
Now, the FAA is investigating. Marana police tell us the NTSB is on its way. Until then, the airport here is shut down while that wreckage is still there. Now, we do want to point out the FAA confirmed that this is an untowered airport. That means there's no air traffic control. There's nobody talking to these pilots as they're circling around the airport or coming by here. What they use is something called a CTAF. It's a common traffic advisory frequency. All of the pilots are supposed to be on the same frequency when they're in here. They're all supposed to adhere to the same rules, basically going around this airport, turning to the left all the time, and then basically keeping your head on a swivel, being able to see who's around you at all times and know where everybody else is, because there's no one else really helping them out here to kind of pay attention to where anybody is, guys. It's kind of up to just pilot responsibility, guys.
A lot to uncover here. William, thank you so much for that report live from Marana. And right now, we want to bring in Chris Dunn, who's a commercial pilot and also a flight instructor. You have been to this airport, Marana Airport, very small. very small town as well. Tell us what it's like at that airport.
Very common to do a lot of flight training at Marana, especially for some of the big flight schools in the Phoenix area. You can go down there, do some pattern work, do some practice approaches, and then come back. So Will mentioned in his story that it doesn't have a control tower.
Yeah.
And that is surprising to a lot of people. There are plenty of airports. In fact, most of the airports in the U.S. do not have a control tower.
And it's up to pilot responsibility. So,
Right.
I mean, how is that even managed? Or is this just common if you're
But like, okay, they don't have a control tower, but how many other incidents has there been? Why is this stuff happening so frequently? You know what I mean? They're saying, like he just said, you know, a lot of people are shocked by there's no tower, but like, I'm just saying, how often does this happen? Or is it just finally being reported? I don't know. I'm so confused, man.
not going to have air traffic control in place.
So say if you're driving down the street and you encounter a stoplight, that's air traffic control. If you come to a four-way intersection, that's kind of the equivalent of a non-towered field. So it's up to the pilots to figure out how to enter the structured pattern around the airport. And by the way, most of the mid-air collisions happen in the airport environment in day VFR conditions or good weather conditions, such as like we had today.
Yeah, okay, so again, still so many questions here, but what do you think the investigators will be looking for?
They'll be looking at, and Will mentioned this in his story, the common traffic advisory frequency, making sure that both pilots were on the same frequency. I've been to airports where someone mistakenly put in the wrong frequency, so they're not listening to what else is going on. Situational awareness, that's a key.
And listen to what he's just saying right there. Where they weren't on the same frequency. And you want me to get on the plane? Those aren't mistakes that you should be making. Especially when you're flying, you're a pilot and you're in charge of other people's lives. You know what I mean? So my whole thing is like, this ain't like you're riding a bike or something. You up in the air. Oh yeah, they just, sometimes they're not on the right frequency. No, that should never happen.
And also, did the pilots know where each other were in the environment of the airport? They'll be looking at that, and sometimes it's just a tragic coincidence that two airplanes meet in the sky at the same time.
Say, just another aviation tragedy.
A lot of times, we hear about this black box recording. Do these smaller aircrafts, these single-engine aircrafts, do they have that?
No, typically not. It's not a requirement, and most of the small airplanes like that don't have that. But they do have ADS-B, which is automatic dependent surveillance broadcast, kind of a radar tracking type of mechanism in the transponder. So
hopefully that will lend, some answers as to what possibly could have happened.
Yeah, it just has a minimal amount of data. It doesn't have all the data points that, like you would have with the black box or the flight data recorder.
Okay, interesting.
Chris, we appreciate your insight again this week. Thank you.
So, a lot of times when you hear stories of birds, flying into the whatever they fly into, and that could cause something, with the plane. But it's like, man, this is just too much. I like to look at the comments again to make sure I'm not tripping. I be sitting here saying, like, is it just me? Am I the only one? Like, what? Let me see these comments. I don't think I'm going to get on a plane this year. Definitely not this year. Someone said, and this is just normal, right? God help us. Just it's some stuff I can't read because it's a little too uh, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Someone said my son is supposed to fly to me for my time with him in March. Now I'm scared for him and I'm rethinking it. That's what I'm saying, man. This is how it makes you think. You know, then something happened and he's like, I knew I shouldn't have got on that plane. If you having that gut feeling, man, just don't do it. That's all I can say. And just say, is wherever you gotta go, is it worth it? Can it wait? Can you get there another way? Is it really something you have to do, man? Because I'm just saying right now, and I know I said it before, I'm a person who I don't like heights. I can't even emphasize how much I hate flying. Love to travel, but hate flying. And I'm going to continue to watch these videos. You know, you can say I'm scared, whatever. I don't care. I know people die every day in crazy, weird, strange ways. But me getting on a plane is a decision. You know, that's going to be a choice that I make. And I choose to not. Someone said, like, it's crazy how this is becoming normal. You know? I'm pretty sure I can go and type in other incidents and all this stuff is going to pop up, man. It's just crazy. I don't know, man. It's like something weird going on, man. Comment below. Appreciate y'all coming over and watching, man. Peace out.